Alrighty, everybody, let's do it. Load game. Okay, what was the most recent one? They're all on the same day. Looks like it's this one right here. Continue. Yes, so here's the pile of trash that we just landed in. And isn't that a beauty? It all looks like cardboard. It was a PlayStation PSP game, I think, PSP, originally. Which is why a lot of times it has a cool, like, retro style to it. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Yeah, just a pile of trash and Makoto. True, we're not the trash. Good distinguish. And Alex, so about editing, you rarely do it outside of work because you don't have much time and you edit on work, but you do enjoy doing it, even though basically you taught yourself and not the most skilled one. Hey, just keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, Alex. I'm sure you're doing great. The little bits I saw in your videos was awesome. So what else can we look at? There's a few pieces of trash we could look at here. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down with me here. That bomb, I could have sworn we saw something like that in the intro of the game. There's like some kind of rocket thing, right? Is that an airplane? How did something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? I'll have to check that band out, Sheely. What's your favorite song by them? I'll have to get some samples. Crystal, perfect timing. Perfect timing. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. That's bad. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. Ew! What kind of edible food are you going to find here? Well, there's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. Makes sense. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. Even more necessary than food. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones aren't an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides, but that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. It's a great idea. It's a great idea. And, and Zakobo, you didn't know there was a time for the trial verdict? Oh yeah, it's like just before the chapters end. I've done that multiple times where I save right at the end of a trial. I think it's because the trials are so dang long and you can't save in the middle of them. So typically when a trial ends, I'm like past my bedtime. I got to save immediately and get out of there. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. I wish I got that. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. That's right, they're going to keep throwing trash down here. And Sheila, you think the best songs are Lightning, Crush, Alright, and Renegades. Those are 4 different songs, right? Not one song titled all those things. And Phantasma, you would never post a game to YouTube until after you finish it. With your schedule, you just can't find the time. Oh, that's true. Yeah, it does suck to have a big break if you don't get to finish a game in a timely manner. It's as far as the YouTube algorithm is concerned, it likes regular updates. So whether you post once a week, once a day, once every 3 days, it wants you to kind of pick a schedule and stick with it. Okay, so what fell out of the sky? What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. It's like just bags of trash. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Let's check it out. Oh, I probably listened to it then, Sheely. Yeah, because I've definitely listened to most of the songs people post in there. I just might not remember the name. And Zakobo, you always keep going and waited for the chapter end card since you knew it wasn't far when the trial ended? Yeah, I just never know. I never know. I don't trust it. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
It's a person? A giant piece of trash? Rude. It was Kyoko? Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Ew, she's got like ramen in her hair. Do you guys still eat those instant cup of noodles? I haven't had one in so long. We do go to ramen restaurants, but I haven't had one of those. Kyoko.
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. But, you've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Oh, thank goodness. Food and water. The bare necessities, bread and water. And Phantasma, you'll probably just have scheduled release of your 80-part KOTOR series, and you'll be good for 80 weeks. That'd be awesome. More than a year. The longest series I have on YouTube and Twitch, I guess it's all the same thing, is Phoenix Wright. Ace Attorney, that game took me 17 streams to beat. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Whew, I really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So, you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. It's true. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone. Tone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. Actually, I did. And you died. And I had to reload. Sorry. I think this is the 12th stream, Phantasma? 12 or 13. So it's definitely one of the longest ones we've done, but it's not quite hitting the highest, I don't think. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. You only left me to die. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. So I'm not as important as you, is that what you're saying? Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. That's the first time she's ever said that. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. Could you elaborate? What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. What if I didn't do that? If I just skip this, do I just miss out on a lot of story? I'm not exactly sure what happens then. And Zakobo, plus if it's Japanese bread, it might have some kind of meat filling. Oh yes, I have had, not Japanese, actually there's a, I guess it's, who does bubble tea typically? Is that Thai restaurants usually do bubble tea? There's a Thai place we like to go to, and they do like these like pork-filled buns that are really good. So, you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak. Sheely, that man shall not live by bread alone. Bread's pretty good, but I need more.
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... Oh, that's right. She was kind of claiming amnesia, wasn't she? Right? Ooh, I think she would kill us, Zakobo. I don't think we have a chance against Kyoko. Remember, we're like 5'4", 100 pounds soaking wet. I don't know. We're not too big and intimidating. I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? I think we're all in like a different classroom. We just kind of woke up there. First thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? Oh, well, after they all gathered together, I think then they all fainted. I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. How would you know you forgot? Or wait, no, they came to the school, they were wandering around, and then they fainted, and then they woke up in the classroom, right? And then I think we left the classroom and we met the rest of the students. Yeah, it's like we wandered around a little bit, and then we passed out. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. See, the rest of us, we kind of know what we're good at. She doesn't. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. You would think they just wouldn't invite you at that point. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. That's right, Zakobi. Yeah, we all woke up on the first floor because we all kind of gathered in that, I think the exit room or the main hall or something. I just remember we quickly ran into everybody. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. That would be crazy. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. Maybe we're the mastermind. You guys are always blaming me for being Monokuma. Why not? In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... Oh, because I was so incompetent? You knew I wasn't the mastermind? I was about to say something about, what is that movie, or that show? Squid Games? But I don't want to spoil anything. It turns out Alter Ego didn't save you. You didn't die since you were the master right the entire time, Sakobo. It all makes sense. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand.
We saw this in like a dream earlier.
I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
I didn't understand that. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. I'm just the mastermind. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
Yeah, I could tell. I know I never asked for your help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. I'm assuming I just have to keep talking to her till we get everything out of her. You mentioned your ability.
I...
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Aha, it makes sense. Checks out. Right? She's always been one step ahead of all of us when it comes to this. Except for maybe Byakuya, but I think she's even been ahead of him as well. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy was someone I had to find here in the school. So was she not invited here? She came on her own accord? You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? And Monokuma was scared of the detective, removed their memory from being a detective, but clearly did nothing, given how good she still was. Some things are just second nature, you know? It's more habit than knowledge at that point, maybe. What did you want to find, or why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. No! Luke, I am your father. Oh, crap. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Okay, I think that eliminates anybody we've been interacting with, right? Byakuya, Hiro, those are the only two people still alive, and us. I don't think any of us are old enough to be your father. So if the headmaster is your father, then it can't be any of us, right? I think we could rule out Toko. Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved.
I'll
find a way.
Huh?
No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
True. We've been. Do you think we're better than? True. Even we have been ahead of Byakuya for at least the last few trials, Sheely, for sure. So yeah, Byakuya is slipping. He's definitely slipping. Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange, like deja vu. It makes perfect sense now. Of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. Oh, maybe I'm mixing up words now. Headmaster, mastermind. Okay, could be two different people. One of us could be the mastermind, but we're not the headmaster. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there? Did we go in there? I think that was a room with all the monitors.
so,
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess. The desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicions, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. We don't know anything about that. And Chopfla, what is up, dude? Tell me anything. How are you doing, Chopfla? What's new? And the headmaster, yeah, pretty much just a principal. Could be the mastermind. Actually, I think in the past they've mentioned thinking that it probably was the mastermind, but maybe not, especially if it's her dad, right? But why there? Oh, nice. I need to get back into that game, Chopfla. I've been playing with my wife, and she hasn't been in the mood to play recently, so I haven't touched Elden Ring for like a week. But hopefully this weekend I'll get some more time in. And any Japanese translation uses headmaster instead of principal from what you've seen? Yeah, I've definitely even heard that term like in schools around here, yeah. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's the layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. That's very interesting. And Hasifa hard mode mods are starting to appear for Elden Ring? Oh no. Don't they have a New Game Plus though? Hasifa, how necessary would a hard mode be? And Chopla, it's tough but good, and glad to hear you're doing well. Back to lurk mode, dude. Thank you so much for the lurk, Chopla. I appreciate that. Good luck in Elden Ring. And they thought that the headmaster might be the mastermind, since the headmaster is the one who finalized the act of closing everyone into the school. That's right. At least some of the info that we got. Yeah. You're eating a... That could be a couple things. Are you eating a pear? Like the fruit, Jada? What's up, Jada? How you doing? So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean, the second floor. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. That could be it too, Sakobo. I hope it's not. It's not good for your teeth. It is a pear, Jado. Pears are great. I love pears. Let's see. So the enemy AI changing, enemy physics changing. Oh, so rather than just straight up difficulty like New Game Plus Hasifa, it also just changes basic mechanics that maybe don't change with New Game Plus. That's pretty sweet. Nice. I love it. I love to see it. So what do you mean horrific?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. I'm guessing I talked to her like a fourth time?
However...
Of course. Once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there were no cameras and no monitors. Okay, so because it's not pink, it's kind of more of a darker purple. I don't think I need to hit Y. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it? Of course it does. Jada, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I wish I had work off tomorrow, but still, things are good. Tomorrow's Friday. I can't wait for the weekend. Besides pears, how are you doing?
However...
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her? What if it was all of them killed her?
Anyway...
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That's true, that previous trial was all BS.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. I don't know, Jada. I trust her, actually. She's still, I think, my most trustworthy character. The last trial, I wasn't sure about her, but now I see what she was doing. She did try to sacrifice us, though. Because she wants to find her dad, apparently. That's more important than our life. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Oh, that's when we were like sick and kind of delusional and we saw somebody about to stab us. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
Oh, there you go, Sheila. Yeah, sometimes you have to get creative with those names to make them work, right? Speaking of names, Lavender Gem, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follow. Do you mean during the night? Yeah, it looked like we were about to get shanked. I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this. What the hell? The god of death? And so why do you trust her more than you? You mean than our character? No, I mean, both of us, I think, are good as far as, like, being the murderer. It's got to be one of the other four, unless it's a trick that the mastermind is playing on us.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room because we were too stupid to lock our door. This is not the first time this has happened. I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead. Maybe.
correct.
Maybe not, you know? I mean, how hard is it to take the mask off and put it on somebody else, right? And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So Kobo, I'm very glad I did not try to finish this right before the end of the stream. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. And that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that also create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you because they wouldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And Garlic and Onion, how is it going? Welcome back. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Lavender, I think you might be right. He's is one of my favorites. I also like that first girl, and then that turned out bad. Can't even think of her name. Sayaka? Something like that. And then Hina's pretty cool, but man, she could be dumb as bricks sometimes, can't she? So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
She was saying this earlier, too. Hey, you just upgraded your name, Start 99. So what would you like to be called? 99? Just 9? Let me know if you have a shortened version of that. Speaking of which, bam. We are auto-tuned for 5 minutes. Thank you, 9. Let me see. How does this sound? Okay, making sure it's working. I just got to get a sip of water, even though it's not really affected by the auto-tune. It's a good chance to drink. Stay hydrated, everybody. Like 99? Nice. Okay. Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair, because that other 16th student was the ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. That's all it was, guys. Just a tragedy. Different tragedy. Lavender, that was a bad one too. They're the ultimate despair.
It would seem
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Chapter 5 complete. Yeah, that took a good, at least 30 minutes to get through that, so I'm definitely glad I didn't try to keep doing that. Oh, knock, knock, who's there? To be continued, right now. Hey, what is that? A Dream Island rocket. Oh, that's cool, we got it from the trash. Wonderful. Yes, I want to save it. Save over that one. The ultimate despair. A group of people caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Well, not exactly, we don't know who it is. We just know what it is. But right now,
Anyway,
Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. I mean, honestly, though, Lavender, it could be. I don't know. There might be another twist in this game I'm not familiar with. I assume it's that nasty bloodbath we saw in that classroom, but maybe there's more. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Oh, that special device that can open up every door, right? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room? Gargareth, what is going on? Oh, could Kyoko be the ultimate despair? I think she is ultimate detective. I don't know why you can't be both, but she's definitely good at being a detective. How's it going, Gargareth? What's new, dude?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
You're quitting your job in 6 days? Nice, dude. So, do you already have another job lined up, or what do you have planned? That's exciting. Are you moving, or what's happening? Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Oh, I just have to use it up here. Seriously, Gargareth? That is so cool. Congratulations. That is awesome. Right on, dude. So, I'm pretty sure this is like a project you've been... I know you mentioned working on games before. You've been kind of toiling away whenever you have time. Now that you have full time to do it, that is amazing. Oh, that's brutal, 99. Yeah, never forget. That's what everybody said. Nice. So, this is like probably bad to ask developers. When is it going to be done? I know the correct answer is it's done when it's done. But do you have any estimate as to like when you think you might be complete?
It's true.
Let's find out. See if that key works. Oh, the summer. That's pretty soon, dude. That's amazing. Right on. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. You know, you could have just dropped the key as well, but I guess she wanted to come down and talk with us. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. We spent a lot of time in the garbage. We slept there multiple days? I'm not sure. Finally, we were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Chapter 6. So this is technically the last chapter, although there is an epilogue after this. I don't know how much there is in that. Ultimate pain. Oh, that's what they used to say right before the trials. And ultimate despair seems soft-hearted if everything is related to teddy bears. Just that one evil bear, right? Oh, we gotta be so smelly, Alex. Maybe we can go back to our room, take a quick shower. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Of course, gratuitous upskirt shot. Why am I not surprised? The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. I don't know. I bet she would be able to catch us. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. I think this is be like college level. Yeah. You said that you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So...
Ever since I can remember. No, actually, our character, Makoto, I think he's like 5'4", 5'5". He's pretty short. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. I mean, that's just what the character profiles say, Lavender. Well, I don't know who you're trying to convince. Then, is your family famous?
wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Is that because you guys aren't really that good? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So,
Right.
because we take pride in it, right?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. I don't know, I think finding out the truth leans on the side of justice, not evil, right? Because even if it's like a bad thing, you're finding the truth about it, that's trying to bring something bad to justice. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Conscious effort.
It's true.
It's kind of an old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Oh yeah, we saw some emails here. Could be. Yeah, we're not exactly sure who the next Ultimate Despair is. Yeah, the headmaster? Is it the mastermind? Is it the same person? We're not sure. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However,
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Oh, that would break my heart, Lavender. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
what?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There is something I want to say to him, though. Yeah, tell him off. I like it. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I wanted to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself. But apparently he was extremely intelligent. You really have to sever ties with him? It sounds like he went to go, get milk and never came home. I think he already severed ties. Oh, nice, Nine. I'm excited to see that. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future,
However,
but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. Maybe not a good reason. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd have gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
so...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as a little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. Oh, that's sad. And 99, this is the game where, while the story is still crazy and absurd, it's still reasonably followable. Seriously, I've definitely played a lot of games where it's like, I'm just enjoying the gameplay. I have no idea what the hell's going on. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's plot holes everywhere. Characters don't have motivation. But this game, It's lots of twists and turns, but it all makes sense for the most part.
His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever.
Everybody but the father. Just, I guess, the family lineage, the family work of being a detective. That's what she's proud about. I'm sure she loves her grandpa.
I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago.
But your family just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
I mean, he kind of already did, so it's not a big deal.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family?
Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. Actually, kind of funny story. I actually don't know my biological dad. Never met him. Never gonna meet him. What I consider my dad, my stepdad, but he's just my dad. He came into my life when I was like 4 or 5 years old. That's pretty much all I know. But yeah, never met my biological father. So, don't know, don't care. Wasn't part of my life. It's fine. And only 8 more minutes of the concert recording. Oh, 9, it's almost over.
So instead, I said nothing.
I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after, I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't be hurtful to meet him regardless, but I just don't see the need. To be honest, I'm not very curious. The only things I've asked is like, hey, how was his hair? I've asked my mom a few questions, of course. Like, did he go bald? But from what I've heard, like, that doesn't really make a big difference. It's mostly your mom's dad that determines how your hair is going to be. Whether you're going to go bald early, whether you're going to have a receding hairline, or whatever. Go gray when you're really young. Knock on wood, I still got my full head of hair at 40. So let's keep it going. Oh, climbing up that huge ladder, Lavender Gem. They're in good shape, apparently.
Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room?
Oh, I do remember that hatch. Isn't it locked? How are we going to get up?
I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out.
I unlocked it earlier. Okay, yeah, sure you did. Of course. Because you knew that was going to happen, right?
So it should be open without much trouble.
Why didn't you climb down the ladder versus, dropping 100 feet? Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. I mean, and it's not a guaranteed thing, Zakobo. I just think that's kind of like anything with your genes. It's always like a chance. I just think that's a higher chance if you're gonna have similar hair to your mom's dad versus like your biological father, but it's never 100%. How early did they go bald though? That could be a big thing too. Some people start to lose their hair in like their 30s or earlier. Some people, they don't really lose it until like their 60s. And how did Kyoko see Makoto sleep? Oh, Lavender, they saw somebody sneak into our room, so they kind of went in there and protected us. And that's when they saw us sleeping, I guess. And Alex, same with your father. You've never seen him. At least his relatives kept in touch. Your sister from your father and dad, your grandpa, and your father died not so long ago due to COVID. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. You declined an invitation to the funeral. I mean, he wasn't part of your life. So like, why at that point, right? Oh my gosh, though. It's cool that you still have some ties to that side of the family, though. I have no idea how much family my biological dad has or doesn't have. Sweet, we made it out. And your grandpa is in his 80s, and he's been balding since as long as you can remember. And his hair looks balding, but it hasn't changed. Okay, so he might have lost it when he was younger, for sure. But you know what? If you're losing your hair, you just get rid of all of it, and it could be a really cool look. Well, it looks like we're back.
But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted.
Although you can usually tell when you're in 30s or 40s. if you're going to start losing your hair. But there's things you can do to help stop that as well, of course. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. It's you never know, but I mean honestly, just just check your hair, you know, like just kind of play around with it, see if you see it seems thinner in spots, and if you do notice that, just get on a program. There's things you can take to kind of help keep that hair if you want to do that. Nothing wrong with losing it, but if you want to keep it, there's things you can do to help. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. If anything, my hair is too dang thick. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. And you don't know much about your dad's side of the family? Your mom's side of the family is the only one still around, if you catch your meaning. Yep, I get that, Sakobo. And Monkey, how you doing, Monkey? Good to see you. And your dad started balding pretty early, so you're keeping your hair long while you can. Honestly, depending on how long you have it, often, like if you start to get receding hair, it looks more full when it's short than it does when it's really long, if that makes sense. Because like, I guess when it's really long, depending on how you style your hair, it can look more noticeable that you're losing hair versus if you keep it real short and just kind of like try to cover some spots of your head. And you've only met your dad's dad, but he's been gone for a while as well. Gone, went to go get that milk, never came back. So, now what do we do? You just woke up, Monkey? Good morning, I guess. I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if Mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too, you helped me, so they might...
Listen.
Oh, passed away. Sorry, I was thinking like how they were out of your life other ways. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You're worried? Yeah, of course. Why are you just waking up at so late?
So then...
Or I guess you couldn't sleep? Did you go to bed and woke up? Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Really, Lavender? Just no hair at all, huh? That could be a really cool look, actually. Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't.
Because
the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Makoto's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us to go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm surprised he hasn't just popped up out of nowhere already. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we really don't have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. It does feel really weird to go tell the guy that tried to kill you, hey, I'm still alive. How's it going? Okay, so I could probably just fast travel to the gym. This saves a lot of time, this fast travel thing. I love it.
Well now.
There he is. He's going to be very upset. Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really going to be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again.
Angry.
And this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to. What? You're just gonna let him kill me?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
Now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh?
I lose?
Hey!
You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what's up, Michael? How's it going? So if you remember at the end of the last stream, we actually just like barely survived an execution and fell into a bunch of trash. Well, we stayed there for a day or two, not able to get out, and then Kyoko fell down there with us, and we got to chat a little bit and find out some more of what she's been up to. And she has that skeleton key she was able to use to get us out. So now we're telling Monokuma, hey, I'm still alive, and we're gonna see what happens.
Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right,
And in response to the unexpected development,
indeed.
you reacted by claiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. Oh, it's getting crazy. And Gargareth, you want one of these murder mystery games to continue even if you get the murder wrong? I did that in the last stream. I made a wrong choice and Kyoko got killed. And then it reset me though, of course, because that wouldn't been good for the rest of the story. I guess, you know, it's not really a detective game, but like I know in Heavy Rain and stuff, those type of games, you can finish them prematurely because you just get characters killed and you don't get to see the rest of their story. So that does kind of happen in some games. But not like those Telltale Walking Dead games and stuff. They always end up in generally the same place. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even if you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuru. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. Nice. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right?
And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying that the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
Maybe not. And Gargareth, you want a full game? Only you end up leaving with the murderer in the That would be cool. That'd be very interesting. All the notary games are like that. I played those once with Andy. We got a really bad ending in that first one. It's kind of like a detective game. Yeah, 9. You go down various timelines with the consequences of your decisions. That's why I got such a bad ending. It makes sense. No, so we're still Makoto, Michael. Yeah, we're still alive. So she cannot prove that he's guilty. No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. Bluff a little bit, right?
What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth.
And you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. I wasn't going to anyway. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching would be extremely displeased. Is she like talking to the camera right now? Because remember, this is all being televised. Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, you can get some weird, crazy scenarios in Heavy Rain. I want to play that again. I want to stream it sometime. I haven't played it since The original PS3 version came out. I don't even know what year that was. 2007, 2008. So it's been a long time.
Hey,
And I do have it on PC, so it'll look a lot nicer. Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice.
So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. Oh, that's right. I forgot you had to use a trigger to move around in that game. I think maybe 9, unless you were using the PlayStation Move controllers. I remember they came out with a patch, so it worked with that. I never tried it, but it was probably super awkward and annoying. And Gargaret, the best movies in the world are Heavy Rain. Only the animations are at 250%. So like super sped up, you mean? Jason! But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed.
Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Now, what you're suggesting might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax. Oh god, these things.
Oh, so not the speed, because they exaggerate all keyframes. Oh, just the mouth movements? Is there a video of this, Gargareth? I gotta check this out.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right?
Did they do the same thing in Persona 4? I've never played a Persona game. I'll check that out, Gargareth. Thanks for the suggestions. Yeah, those glitch videos are hilarious. Some of my favorites, and this is because I'm such a UFC fan, but check out like some UFC glitch videos. They have people that basically do really good impersonations of the announcers while the fighters are like glitching around and just doing weird stuff, and it's really funny because they call the fight like it's an actual UFC fight, but obviously it's totally broken and weird. Oh no, 9.
Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Oh gosh. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one fine and grisly showdown. Oh, this is bad.
He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is a long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting ending.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here.
All the mysteries?
That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that.
I can barely contain myself!
Then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along.
Okay, well good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
Guys!
then you win.
Wow, that totally changed the entire game. It went from murder everybody, so there had to be one person standing, to just prove your innocence and also uncover the mysteries of this place. That seems a lot better.
But if you can't do all of that,
We'll all face execution, right?
I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me?
Oh, we're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement?
You don't have to be so suspicious. I said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that.
Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations? Which would mean that whoever killed Mukuro...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
Listen,
Are you telling the truth? The only people to step inside this school before the killing game ever began was 16 of us? I've heard it's super good. Now, a lot of people say they like Persona 4 more than 5. I have 5 on the PlayStation 4, and then I don't think I have Persona 4 on anything. But if I did get it, I'd probably get it on Steam. Why'd he go quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry.
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say for you. So get lost, would you?
Why so mad?
whew,
He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey,
Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go?
I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing with despair.
Is Yosuke or Yosuke the Bear Frost, or is that somebody else? Michael, don't you do it too. Okay, I need to start getting it ready. Oh wait, here he said that.
hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Oh, nice. No, I got the original version of Persona 5, but if I do decide to play it, I bet the new version, the Ultimate or Royal, was probably not be that expensive. I wish they would release it on PC. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away, and just like that, we were out of the gym. Oh no, don't like that character, Frost. Don't like that character at all. Oh, Christian, no worries at all, dude. Yeah, definitely get some sleep. Oh, and you had to go to that. I remember you mentioned that a while back, Christian. Still, so sorry to hear that, dude. But yeah, get some good sleep, rest up. I know you've had a busy week, and hopefully we'll see you on Saturday. Is he just confused? Okay. But still, confused in a very poorly chosen way, right? I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. And the prankster, who is the reason 90% of things happen to the cast, and he gets mad when people prank him back. They can dish it, they just can't take it. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
however,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true.
whew,
But still, I'm glad it worked out. I'm sure if the enemy would accept my proposal, or I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so,
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
because,
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
so,
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen,
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off,
However,
and yet somehow their mastermind was able to do it. No, unfortunately, Michael, I do have work early in the morning, so this will be a normal stream.
In other words,
Oh, interesting. You know, there's so many games like that where they take previously romanceable characters and remove it. I don't know if it's for time or why. Kind of the stuff when they take one step forward, 2 steps back. A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other.
They wanted to show the world?
it would seem.
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that.
Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words,
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world.
But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely.
A point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for students of Hope's Peak, right?
A certain concept, the ultimate? Oh no, you're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that and try to prove that despair is better than hope.
Oh, that's a bummer, Frost. Yeah, just kind of changing somebody for the benefit of the player or the character, not the benefit of the actual character that you're talking to. That sucks. Trying to change them. And that's the reason why you like Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's like Persona, but with Fire Emblem combat, and it's not homophobic. Yay! We all win. That's their goal.
As the ultimate despair.
What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. The group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
So they're so emo, they need to make the whole world emo? Is that what I'm hearing? But is that really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto,
I know how angry it must make you, and yet, that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness.
What?
in other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast the killing game to the world, the mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind has simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
Oh, I know. I just making the joke about emo. Despair is a lot more than emo. But yeah, I wonder if that's like a cultural thing, Frost, because I know Japan has had a lot of negative stereotypes in games and media for all sorts of things, you know? So I wonder if it's just kind of prevailing thing like that just kind of sticks around, maybe with their humor.
at the very least,
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
Flocky, how you doing, Flocky? Good to see you.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations.
It kind of reminds me of certain streamers on Twitch where they can skirt the rules very, very close to the line, but they don't break the rules. You know, and they profit from it, you know? It's like, how much can we push Twitch without actually breaking any of these rules written down, right? Oh, I'm doing good, Plucky. Things are great. I got my Steam Deck yesterday. Finally. Took forever to ship. And I'm looking forward to the weekend. We're almost there.
So Junko broke the rules, and she was also punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer.
But even that didn't work. Nice. Perfect timing, Plucky. Perfect timing. Good. I mean, at least they're making improvements for us, but they have a long way to go.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world,
The mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, and to have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have shown it that they violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. Oh, yeah, 9. Andy played like probably a good 20 or 30 hours of that game. She got distracted and hasn't gotten back into it, but she really enjoyed what she played. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet.
Whew.
But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be able to play one of those games, Frost. Just for the time commitment, honestly. It would not be a stream game, that's for sure. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you, that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earned another chance to fight. We have to win this time,
correct.
or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. I don't know how much time we have to, like, work on this case. I know we got a reset, but I don't know how it's going. Oh my gosh! Therapy Android!
Therapy Android 39 months.
Oh my goodness! Wait, where's the guys? Hold on. There's no tokens. Give me a second. Do I not? Oh, I didn't run that program again. My bad. Hold on. Give me just 1 second. Where's my mouse? There we go. Yeah, for whatever reason. Oh no. The program that runs the stream avatars crashed. Let me switch over here. The stream avatars program crashed, so I lost all the guys on the screen. I know why it crashed. Is when I was testing out the Steam Deck live on stream, not the good time to do it. Okay, they should be back now. There they are. Okay, now we can drop tokens. Bam, bam, bam. And a couple extra because of how much I screwed up. There we go. How are you doing, Therapy? It's good to see you. What is new? What have you been up to? And Plocky, you probably have 100 hours in Persona 4, but you're already in the New Game Plus. Oh, so you've beaten the game. That's good. In less than 100 hours. I hope so, Michael. I hope we have a big uprising. And how's it going? Sleepy? Nope, not sleepy yet, Therapy. But give me time. Give me time. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who the real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Oh no! Vacation is over. But you had a wonderful time, right? You did such cool things, a lot of relaxation. Sounded like a good time, Therapy. Hopefully you're, well rested and recharged to get back into things. Oh, crap. Forgot to show this. There you go. You guys can still catch it. Even if you can't see yourselves, you can still catch them. And Frost, you don't mind the long games, but just Persona games have a lot of uninteresting days where not much happens. Oh, that's a bummer. I felt that a little bit in this game. There were definitely some days where, like, nothing to the plot actually moved along. Good catch, Alex. Did you get that? I didn't see it say your name. Let me try one more time. There we go. There were some days in this game where you just go around talking to people, giving presents, go to bed. Wake up, talk to people, give presents, go to bed. Like, nothing really moves forward. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible?
anyway,
Right now we have to go find the others. Hopefully we can work together, everyone. But
shall we go?
one of them was the killer, so we need to figure that out too. Yeah, at least, Zakobo, not saying that would be a bad game to stream. But that would be a good game to stream if like I was a full-time streamer, you know? Like if I was streaming 30, 40 hours a week, sure. Like we could beat that game in a reasonable amount of time if I focused on it. But at the rate that I stream games, it would take half a year. Not worth it. Okay, so if I check the map now, I should be able to see where people are, I hope. Dang, Frost, that's crazy. And how much were you streaming? I get about, I think, 10 hours a week on average. Sometimes a little bit longer if I have like a, you know, a long Thursday stream. It's not showing me anybody on the map. That's interesting. I guess we'll just start wandering. You know, what's funny is because those games don't have a ton of readings, Akobo, I actually think they might go a little bit faster than one of those. Not that I want to play one of those games, but I feel like they might go a little bit faster. Let's see, do we have a... I don't know if we have a, like, what do you call it? Just go find them. We don't know exactly where they're supposed to be. Oh, maybe we were just at the gym, weren't we? Well, let's go back to the first floor. Dormitory area. Let's try that. That's the bath. I'm gonna guess, yeah, exactly what I was thinking, Monkey. This is typically where everybody goes, right? The dining hall. I've never really done much streaming with like never-ending games. I've done a few streams with my wife with like multiplayer-only games that don't really have a story, but not for me by myself. And therapy. Do you remember it right? You used to play a lot of Guitar Hero with friends. You got a hold of it on a CD for your PS3, and you're thinking of what you need to play. Some special guitar and mic. Yeah, so every console, the Wii, the Xbox, and PlayStation, they all had their own unique equipment that only typically worked with it. I think I know on Xbox, the Xbox 360 instruments would work on the Xbox One, and I think the PS3 instruments work on the PS4, but probably not vice versa. So yeah, you definitely want to search for some PS3 instruments on eBay. They might be kind of hard to find, but yeah, you might find a good deal out there somewhere. As far as a microphone, no. I think a microphone is just kind of like any basic USB mic, I believe. I don't think it has to be the one they sell. I believe a lot of different mics will work, but I'd find something cheap and just try it out. Let's see. And for most games that you play, you binge them. And if you lose your binge even for a week, the likelihood of getting back into it is same, Zakobo. I have a hard time getting back into a game once I take a break. And suddenly, we were greeted with, of course, what the hell is that? I'm guessing that's what he said. You again. It's still just nonsense. Just total nonsense. And you think the fact that GameCube controllers were recreated to work with Smash Bros. Ultimate is wild. You know, I still have my old GameCube controllers, and I bought that adapter for the Switch to use them. It works really well. But it's cool that they still make them, you know? And Persona 4 was on hold for 5 years, Plocky, because your PS2 was broken and it took you 5 years to fix it. We didn't know who to fix it, but when we moved, we discovered a place. Oh, nice! Well, I'm glad you did get it fixed. And Frost, beyond Pokemon, you never really beat any games till you started streaming. I mean, I do beat games, but this definitely keeps me focused. I like it. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. I mean, there was another one that was broken that everybody tore apart. Jeez, what the heck?
However,
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Hey, everybody's here.
Makoto?
Aw, they're happy to see me. Hopefully they're happy to see me. He forgot English. Japanese? Yeah, Frost, since you would not feel like playing for one day and never got back, you have a real hard time of starting things now without streaming. Now, I definitely don't have a hard time starting other games now, but I'm always hesitant to play games off stream unless I'm sure it's a game that would not be good on stream, you know? Sometimes I'll play a game like, I just don't see this working on stream, so I can play it by myself. But if it's a game I'm interested in, but I think would be fun to play with you guys, I have a hard time playing it by myself. I'd just rather hold on to it.
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
Oh, that's cute.
Huh? You survived?
Byakuya doesn't seem too excited.
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Oh gosh, Hero and the ghost thing again? We all wanted to punch him last stream, remember? Everyone was there, all my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up. Aw.
What?
Wait, what is that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks.
It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away from me. Shoo, shoo.
Yeah, all my friends and Byakuya and Toko. Yes, 9. Yeah, we have the first one on PlayStation 3. And then we have, I think, the second one on Steam, actually. And you highly recommend it in your free time, since it would take forever to stream. Actually, that's one thing I'm going to be able to use this thing for a lot. Or just like other random games I want to play, especially that I could just put in a little bit of time here and there, you know, because it's so easy to start a game, stop it without like taking a lot of time to load everything up, you know, like turn on the TV, turn on my computer. It's just already ready to go. You're in the game instantly. And in a flash, my tears dried up.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain. Explain what?
Hmm.
But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all.
There we go. Yeah, I kind of want to play the first Ni no Kuni just because it also has like a lot of the Studio Ghibli integration, and I love Studio Ghibli, but I do want to play both of them. Dang, you've done so much time in the Persona games, Alex. That's crazy. And you still haven't seen the third semester yet, and you want to play it live. Eventually, you're going to get there. Eventually, Alex. Just keep at it. I need to tell you all about it. The last class trial.
The last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course it's not me or any of you.
Huh?
Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind.
Huh?
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Makoro?
That's right.
It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto stopped the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
And also, Therapy, I'm excited for you to get Rock Band working. I need to do another Rock Band party. I love that game. So much fun with it. And Hasifa, the Elite Controller came in a hard case. Oh, that's right. That is very true. Although, I will say, even for how nice the controller is, it feels very overpriced, doesn't it? Like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's worth 3 controllers price. Maybe 1.5. Like, I could see maybe if it was like $100 or $90 or something, but I think 180 is way too much for even this controller. It is nice though. I do use it every time I'm streaming with the controller, of course.
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
And 9, you think they are both great? And the second one's just really different compared to the first. Yeah, I heard they're very different games. And the first one seems to be the better of the two Frost. Personally, you tried it twice, but just couldn't get into it. And you are getting software customizations for that extra price, along with the switchability of the D-pad, thumbsticks, back triggers. There's a lot of, yeah, that, but still, like $180, it still feels like too much. I got mine on sale, and I had a bunch of like credits at, I think it was Best Buy that I got it from, so I didn't pay even nearly enough as a regular controller. But if I was to just pay for this cash, it definitely still feels like it's too much for what it is, I guess. But I think they're all like that. I mean, it's supply and demand. It's a very, very niche market. Now, opposite versus like the Steam Deck, what you're getting for $400 is kind of ridiculous. Like, it's a really crazy deal. And Michael, you have the Fusion Pro 2 for Xbox Series X, and you paid $89 for it, and it feels pretty premium for the price, and it comes with the kit. See, now that's like $90 versus like, you know, it does feel like it's probably worth more than 90, honestly. Just thinking of like the build quality, but not twice that amount. Because what is a normal controller right now? $60? So like, I don't know, for a really fancy controller, I could see twice that amount. 120, like tops. And you've been playing some Rocksmith lately, and it's so much fun. But Guitar Hero, you could play with Tanya and friends, and it should be great together. Yeah, so Therapy, with Guitar Hero, depending on which one you get, you might just be able to play it 2 players. There is Guitar Hero, I forget what it's called. There was one that was like 4 players with the whole band, but I think Rock Band is the superior of those 2 games, just for me personally. There's so many songs you can download for it. I know I'm never going to finish this game, Alex. 92 hours in Ni no Kuni. Oh, that's awesome. And Clone Hero. I've heard of it, but honestly, when I don't play Guitar Hero or Rock Band to play by myself, I only play for the full band experience, and I don't think you really get that with Clone Hero. Usually when I play Rock Band, we got 7 people playing. You got guitar, bass, drums, let's see, and then, no, 6 players, and then 3 singers. Yeah, because you have 6 people total playing.
Huh?
Okay, where do we leave off?
And the mastermind agreed?
Okay, because we're going to redo the trial.
Does that mean they really did break the rules?
They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
Correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared, that's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean!
Frost, Rock Band with a whole band is pretty amazing, especially with 3 singers, because I suck at singing, but when you got 3 people singing all at the same time co-op, it makes it a lot more fun. Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. Yes, yeah, Rock Band, totally different game, and it's only on console. Yeah. And you never played Rock Band? That's probably the game I probably spent the most money on for any single game, with a combination of the instruments I bought and how many DLC songs I bought. But we played it as like a big party thing every weekend or every other weekend for like years. I had so much fun with it. For anyone who doesn't understand, can you ask Kyoko to explain it again later?
So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's all about who killed Mukuro, right? So it's our job to expose the mastermind.
But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. Oh, you never even tried with a guitar? You're missing out, Plocky. You definitely should try with a guitar at some point in your life. It's fun. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Every last mystery?
But
we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh no!
Everyone?
I hate you.
Oh, dang. Yeah, 9. I never play games like that. Very rarely do I try to like 100% a game.
Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us?
It's a good point.
I'm fine with the things the way they are. I'm fine with living here forever with Master.
I mean, I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
Anyway,
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
In other
Interesting.
words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But
But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro, all the school's mysteries.
It's a pretty freaking tall order. You know what's crazy is there was actually supposed to be a PC version of Rock Band. They did a Kickstarter for it, but it failed. So we never got that for PC, unfortunately. Maybe this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. Uh-oh, because one of them could be a murderer still. And you've only 100%ed maybe 3 games before, only one of which you had fun doing. Now, I have gotten all the achievements in games before, but it was on complete, accident. Like, if you play a Telltale game, oftentimes if you just beat the game, you get all the trophies, all the achievements. It doesn't matter which console you're playing on. They're all very basic, easy things. You can't agree. Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his.
Yeah, that the murderer was actually still a student. Hint?
It's a very polarizing approach, I know. Okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
So nobody besides us 16 people have joined this game. So there's no 17th mystery person that murders somebody. See, that's definitely dedication, 9. I love it. You don't think you've ever got to 100% of a game? You should play Walking Dead or Wolf Among Us or any of those Telltale games, Plucky. You'll get one easy. Are they making a new Ni no Kuni game? But it's a mobile MMO? Aww. Oh, that's a shame. Bummer. Oh, you 100% Bloodborne? That's impressive, Michael. That's a tough game. Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. If it's mobile, I don't think I'll get into it. Only if maybe some point-and-click games, but most don't come with a percent. Not often, no. Although, honestly, I've never, at least the ones we've streamed, I've never 100%ed any point-and-click game we've ever played. There's still missing achievements I have to get. So Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh?
But why?
So, in other words...
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have to have set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game.
Then the mastermind is...
one of us.
There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them.
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. I need to continue? Or need I continue? Or do you get it now? I know the dreaded words, but it's on mobile. Like the new Diablo. I could care less about that. It might be good. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it out, but... I'm a big Diablo fan, but not a fan of mobile. Yes, Michael. See, those are easy to 100%. And you 100% the same game on the same file 5 times? Like, which game was that, Monkey? And, Plucky, you played Wolf Among Us, the Game of Thrones one, and Guardians of the Galaxy? So 100% for achievements? That's what I think, because those games often don't really have much side stuff or items, but they don't even put the achievements behind getting items. They usually just have them through the main story beats. So I know for me anyway, on Steam, without going out of my way, I beat a lot of those games without trying to do anything special. Just play through the game once. What? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
No way!
You can't be serious.
Wait, we can't say that for sure. That's for sure true yet. Monokuma might have just said that to confuse us. I don't think so. Oh, Risk of Rain 2. Yes, I know you played a lot of that one, Monkey.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many.
The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore.
Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible.
And you did that 5 times? That's crazy, monkey. But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking out that many times.
I'm right?
I mean, I guess we did see Monokuma in here with like everybody else, right? Or at least we were here with Kyoko. I was gonna say Kyoko's usually off on her own doing things, but we just saw her in the room with Monokuma, so I think we're okay there. 285 hours. That's incredible. Oh dang, monkey! How many hours do you have on that game? And the earliest game you 100% completed was the original Pokemon Red, and even was able to get a friend who went to a convention to get Mew. That's awesome, dude. Nice. The only game I remember 100%ing when I was young, going out of my way to do everything, except for maybe like Mario Kart, like the first one, getting all the cups and stuff. Final Fantasy VII. I remember maximizing every single materia, getting every single ultimate weapon, getting all the summons maximized, and you know, having so much money in the game, it couldn't even represent it with a number. It was like that 920 hours. That's incredible, monkey. Oh my gosh. You got your money's worth, that's for sure. If you break out how much you paid for that game versus how many dollars per hour, you definitely got your money's worth. Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with them. Wait a second. Monokuma was here. Oh yeah, and it's present for the trials. That's true, Alex. I didn't think about that. I was just going to say, Monokuma was acting really weird, though, right now when she was in the room with us, Kyoko. But we talked to him earlier, and he wasn't going weird, so yeah, that can't be it. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still. Oh crap, is it time for the trial already?
This is a school announcement.
I've only beaten one Pokemon game, Plocky, and it was on stream, the Let's Go Pikachu. Dang, that's a lot of time in Overwatch. I've heard that game's fantastic. Did you play the beta? How'd you like it, Frost?
You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode.
Oh dear. Can we finish it in 45 minutes?
So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Probably not.
Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Yeah, I think the most time I've ever put in a game was probably like EverQuest or World of Warcraft or Ultima Online, one of those MMOs. But unfortunately, I don't have the time tracked with all my characters or anything. How very monogamous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're probably, if we do get to the trial even, Hasifa, that might be a good stopping point. The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can only rely on myself, on the Tagomi blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Oh, you didn't play the beta for 2, Frost? It made you so mad, and the only thing you did in your free time for far too long. And 2 has a lot of changes you don't think you'll like anyway. Yeah, and at the very least, like maybe when it's on sale or something, you could try it out. That'd be fun. But yeah, if it makes you unhappy, not worth your time. Oh, that'd be so sad, Plocky. Everybody against us? Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall.
Master, he didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him?
Without Master, the rest of you are all like coffee with cream without the cream. Or coffee. What? You're totally useless.
Now, I do agree with that. I'm not a big coffee drinker unless I got some cream and sugar.
So, bye.
Gosh. You know, Plucky, I'm going to go for the random one. I'm going to say it's Hiro. I'm going to say it's actually Hiro who is the mastermind. Let's go for the least likely suspect. Throw that out there in the universe. See how they can explain that. Yeah. And actually, I think that's part of the reason why I'm taking a little bit of a break from, what is it called? Elden Ring. Andy was getting like super frustrated because we got to a point where we seemed to get invaded all the time by some really intensely powerful PvP players. So they kind of like slowing our progress, which kind of sucks. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. Maybe it's all an act, Michael. I would seriously doubt it, but I don't know. Maybe it's all an act. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and I.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall.
Aww.
Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves?
What about you, Hina?
I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know?
I mean...
But up until now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else.
You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died.
Makoto, that's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. I mean, if I had to guess, it's fun picking like the wild card that doesn't make sense. Maybe they'll explain it. Byakuya seems the most likely suspect to be the mastermind. Just because of how he's tampered with the games and how, I mean, this whole thing's about entertaining the audience, right? And he seems to do a lot to help that, being real smart and everything, and throwing twists in there. That's just a guess. Oops, wrong button. It's Hiro being controlled by Monokuma, hidden in his hair the whole time. Dun dun dun. Hina was surprisingly in high spirits when she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
I thought she was going on her own. I know, if we're all together, we can't murder anybody. It'd be kind of like Among Us, right? Once you're done with your tasks, you start following people. So, you're going to go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However...
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to go do our searches separately doesn't mean we still can't work together.
So...
That goes for all of us.
I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then...
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
Correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school.
We could visit all the places we couldn't go to before. Gosh, I can't remember all the locked rooms now.
Makoto.
No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary.
With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. And by the way, Hasifa, thank you so much for kind of giving me that heads up of like a good stopping point. That's helpful. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Other wounds. Several days old. I'm just trying to think. Could this be one of the previous victims that, like, you know, lost a trial? Like, I can't think of her name, but the first one that died when she got, like, speared all over the place. Although that might have been more obvious. I'm trying to think of what other female characters died. Oh, but that one had a tattoo, though. I was going to say, oh, could that be somebody else? Probably not. But why did they have all those bruises and stuff on him? I'm not sure. Let's see, in theory, you don't think they're allowed to murder anyone else right now, since the investigation has already started? Oh, that's true, yeah. I wonder what would happen if they did kill somebody. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I'll start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, the door in the data center, with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms, where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. I love it how they give you a nice to-do list in this game. And they even gave us a places to check thing in the listing. Does it mark them all on the map too? That might be too handy. Too easy. Okay, so I think we want to go to the second floor. Wait, no, second floor of the dorms we need to get to. We haven't been there yet. It's like an entire floor we haven't seen. So where was that? Over here? I think this is the thing that just opened up. What about this? Have we ever been in here? Yeah, we've been here. Nothing special there. The gate's open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it. Whoa, crap. The hell happened here? Like an earthquake? There's like bloodstains too, like actual bloodstains, not pink bloodstains. This is the second floor of the dorms? It looks like some ancient ruins. Or it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. Nothing behind us. We go in any of these doors? Not really, they're all broken. Oh, here's a working door. Yeah, this looks just as bad as the other rooms. Oh, it looks like there's some papers on there. The bed is completely torn apart. I mean, it's not even really a bed anymore. It's just garbage. It's interesting how all the blood in the game is pink except for old blood. Then it looks red like normal blood. I opened the door just a crack and glanced inside, and immediately closed it again. There wasn't even a hint of a bathroom, just a big pile of rubble. So nothing to check out here. Check out the rest of the floor. I like this investigating music. This is the girls' bathroom. Even in a place like this, I can't bring myself to go in. Come on! There's nobody here. What's the problem? Yeah, Hulk smash. Bathroom's doing pretty good. I don't see anything weird here. There's nothing to look at, but this actually looks nicer than the bathrooms downstairs. What's that? Is that a giraffe poking out of a locker? That's a cool drawing. Oh yeah, look at all these lockers. This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for Hope's Peak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. Oh my gosh, do we have to check every single one? There's a metal plate mounted to the locker. I really want to know what's inside, but there's no way. I think I'm just going to check this one. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope, locked. There's a card reader installed in the door. That must be how you get the locker, or how you get the locker to open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms that are on the second floor of the school. You have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's just give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then... no luck. Maybe only the locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. Maybe we'll find a random one. I guess we gotta try all these, right? Nope, not that one either. It goes through the entire spiel every time. Oh, really, Frost? I didn't know if that was like just an aesthetic choice or what. That's pretty cool. I guess I should assume none of these are going to be ours. Okay, that looks like it. Let me just make sure there's nothing else. I bet we're going to find some kind of other e-handbook around here to open some of those up. Yep, that would be really crazy twist, Kobo. We open up one of the lockers and find out you were the mastermind. You just forgot all about it. This room doesn't really feel like a student's room. It has a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
The hell did you come from?
It's the headmaster's private room.
Kyoko.
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time.
A regret? There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
It would seem...
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it.
Then we might be able to get some of the info on the ultimate despair.
However...
There's not much, though. Nothing we don't already know.
In other words...
The ultimate despair isn't one individual, but instead points to a kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy.
That's what it was, guys. They were responsible for the tragedy. That's all they were responsible for.
Which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair.
However...
And that's all there is. Not much to it.
Yeah. That's all there is. That's all it was. Sorry.
Whew.
But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete Kirigami failure.
But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? There's no fun allowed in Plague Town. That was a brutal game, Michael. I want to try Pathologic 2 out again. I did that for a special stream, but I would like to actually get back into that game. Maybe not on stream, but just separately. I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on.
That's a good outlook to have.
All right, we got some information. That's good. It's a Kobo. It's true. It's true. There's two things to click on here. Can I click on this one? Well, it's actually, it was a remake of the Gen 1 Pokemon game, Zakobo. The Let's Go Pikachu. Actually, Last God Tajay requested that game. The desk is home to a computer. It must have belonged to the headmaster. Okay, so we've looked at both of those. Let's check out the chair and then that closet. Yeah, and then you got that one, Frost. Thanks. A leather chair. I can't imagine a student using something like this. It must have been the headmaster's. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to know, John. Good. You're making wise life choices. Huh. There's a strange gap in the wall. Is it some kind of design mistake or a construction defect or something? That's what she has a regret about?
There's a gap here,
But not just any normal gap. I could feel a breeze coming out. A breeze?
Indeed.
There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space. Does that mean... You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something?
Indeed.
Yeah, you did, Michael. Quotes are so much fun. I remember that quote, Alex. Everybody was always questioning how I was playing Inscription. We beat the game, but I definitely struggled at some points. It's a very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Press enter the right password and the door should open right up.
However...
But I don't have a clue what the password might be. All we know is it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right. That's not nearly enough to go on.
It's true.
I looked through all his paperwork, all the files on the PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password.
Whew.
When I think of how much time I wasted on this. Jeez. Did you try your name? So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue hidden or waiting in there. That would be pretty funny, Zakobo. Flocky. I love that when Relentless is creating these quotes or any of the mods, they put the game name in there because that little bit of context makes it make so much more sense to me. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. And if Kyoko can't figure it out, no way I stand a chance. No, wait. There might be a chance. Password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of because it's her father. For example, what about your name? Oh, that's what I said.
What?
Oh, sorry. I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password. Knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it, just to be sure?
Well?
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. Let's do it. Totally gonna work. Is John fine? No, he's not fine. He's never fine. Oh God, Alex. A lot of these quotes work for many different games, but I'm glad we know which one it came from. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name, but if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more. Another birthday celebration? It's always somebody's birthday there, Alex. Enjoy some cake, hopefully.
Hey.
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here goes nothing. I collected myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, and as I finished typing it in... That was it! Wow. I guessed it way before he did. What? Did it? Kyoko, it worked.
Why?
Kyoko. Now she's even more pissed. He had the one weakness of logic. Personal feelings. Harder to detect on, right? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko. Oh, what the hell? There's a birthday present here? What is going on? Oh, and there's a picture of him with his daughter in the background. Hey, Kyoko? I may as well not even have been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present. Wrapped and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. The cake is a lie. The present is a lie. Yeah, about your dad not caring about you, right? I'd better check out the suspicious present before I do anything. Alright, game. Let's trying to save the main event for last. There's a brightly colored box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay.
Makoto.
I mean, it could be a bomb. Be careful, Makoto. Why? Do you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous. But surprising, probably. Huh?
It would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway...
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Where's Christian? Christian, are you here? What's in the box? Come on. Your whole life has been leading up to this point. Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? What's in the box? Okay, I'm just gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took a hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to leak into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... Oh God, what is it? Hyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. Human remains? What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. Is that him? Is that our dad? Looks like there's a big crack in the skull. What the hell is that all about? So if she knows what's in it, it's cause that's something that she gave him. Oh, that'd be crazy plocky. I hope she didn't give him bones. And Sakobo, remember the execution at the start of the game with a rocket? The grown man who was killed in that execution reduced... Oh yeah, at the very beginning of the game. Yeah, there was a rocket that went off and there was somebody trapped in what looked like an Iron Maiden. And it took off and it came crashing right back down. So I assume that was like a game before us, you know, like one of these similar televised games. The previous season, essentially. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined?
I see.
Just as I thought. What? What the hell did you think? Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones.
Wrong.
Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing, a dead guy in a box. My father. Huh? What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box. Those bones. That body. That's my father. How the hell can you tell? Seriously? Like, unless you know something very distinctive about his teeth, which you wouldn't because you were young. I don't know. How would you know? How the hell would you know that? Or at least, that's what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad? The same man she's been searching for? Hold on. How can you know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
So...
Given all the information we already have, that's the only possible answer. So, the same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. Ah, okay, I remember that clue.
It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
So, wait, our dad was one of those students? So, or her dad was one of those students, which means, was there no... what was that person's name? That girl that we found dead? And Headmaster Kirigiri is the one you see die at the start of the game? Oh, wow. Ain't that a blast from the past? I like that. That's cool to have a throwback like that. And I probably would have forgotten all about it. Thank you so much for reminding me. And Weebatome, imagine finding out a random pile of bones and being like, oh, that's my dad. Can't you see the resemblance? She didn't even gasp. We gasped. We freaked out. So Alter Ego said that the headmaster was probably here in the school. But the only ones that were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume
In other words,
that most likely my father was in this school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. That's a good assumption. Yeah, it's not even our dad. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. No, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong, which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said that she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties, but was that all there was to it? Gotta get that upskirt shot again, right, guys? I gave up some of that pride. In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. Okay, now can we check out all the other options? Here we go. Huh. This picture. It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko. Oh no, she didn't like that. Didn't expect that, I guess. Oh gosh, I'm scared, Flocky.
why would you?
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past, and yet... to now find something like this. What do you expect me to do now? Then I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her. Yeah, just naturally purple hair, right? Only in Japan.
Why?
They come in all colors. Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself, to cut him out from my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. And now he's abandoned me again. And this time, he even stole my only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Dad, you suck. Why'd you have to become Bones? Terrible dad. Kyoko. Oh, we could check the drawers too. This filing cabinet seems like a kind of place you'd find a clue. I should take a closer look. But I don't think Kyoko would like some stranger like me touching her dad's stuff.
Hey,
It's fine. Check whatever you want. I know, he didn't want to die. You just discovered him as Bones. He didn't do that to spite you so you couldn't tell him off. Like, crap, my daughter's coming. I gotta die. Are you sure? Okay, then. I went through each door one by one, starting from the top. Not this chapter. I haven't spent them yet, Blocky. Although I don't know if I need them all yet. I was spending them pretty egregiously, but I've always kept like at least like 40 or 50 or something. I didn't know if I was ever going to need more later, but I've been spending them as I can. All I found were piles and piles of unrelated documents. He was pretty dedicated to this job, huh?
well,
It's just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business or legacy. Instead, he left it all behind.
now,
If he couldn't even handle a job like this, he would have been that much more a failure. I'm sure he couldn't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate. And let's check out this one over here. The headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission. She already said to check everything.
hey,
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like. Are you sure?
because
Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay. Yeah, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... Huh, is this... It's an e-handbook, right? And it has a label on it that says, in case of emergency. Oh, could we use this to open those lockers? I'd found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
In other words,
A handbook with no limitations, given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. Yeah, that'll totally open it. Nice. I'm assuming that's what it is. I think you're probably right.
it would seem...
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? But, Kyoko, I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then, I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay?
Hey,
Listen, Makoto. Huh? Can I ask you a favor? Oh, what's this? A favor? What is it?
so...
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but...
Hey,
Could you leave? Huh?
correct.
Just for a little while. I'd just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko, don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little.
Just a second.
I need to get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad, and how you were only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. But maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you're trying to get at? It has her dad's fingerprints. She doesn't even want to have it. She's like, nope, don't care, don't want it. If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the fact of what happened, what I went through. The problem can't be solved so easily. You're right, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Once I've got myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. Then I'll see you later. Is she really okay? Kyoko, it must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. To find out what happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt the mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. The one leading the Hope's Peak staff, the one who finalized the plan to isolate you, was the Hope's Peak headmaster. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. But could it be him? Because we're assuming somebody's controlling Monokuma and setting everything up, right? But I guess it's possible that it's all automated. I don't know. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind. Excuse me. Which means the mastermind's true identity is...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint.
We already heard this flashback earlier.
I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students, which makes me think that Mastermind's not in the school, or it's one of us. "15 of us met in the mail hall. Add Mukuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead." Oh, it's so sad to see all these again. Even Mukuro. Even she undeniably dead. So the ones still left alive are me, Byakuya, Hiro, and Toko. And he knows. That was the last one.
and Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. And then there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. And us. We are always a possibility, right? Okay, so I think... Let's go see if she's done. If not, there's still all kinds of stuff I want to talk to her about, but I better give her some more time. Okay, let's go check that card reader we have on those lockers. I think it was this way. Was it this one? Of course, we're not going to incriminate ourselves, Blocky. I'm just going to try the doors that look like they're on the hinges, still fully intact. I wonder if I can open this locker. I can skip some of this. I took out the handbook and ran it across the card reader. And then, no luck. But wait. Ah, he didn't use that at first. He just used his regular one. What about that emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Okay, let's give it one more try. And Arcadia, the 7th surviving student hidden somewhere within the school, the only one known as the ultimate streamer. I mean, Zakobo, I am known to kill everybody on practically every game I play. Even if it's a game the characters don't usually get killed. I find a way. Not on purpose. I try to be the good guy. Poor choices lead to bad consequences. Alright, we're going to try that item. I took the emergency handbook and ran it across the card reader, and... Alright, just what I was hoping for. Now let's see what we've got inside. This locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably had organization problems in every part of their life. This is a crystal ball. Huh, a crystal ball? No, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. It's just not possible. Is this a deck of playing cards? No, they're tarot cards. But wait. Those aren't used for telling... Aren't those used for telling fortunes? It's just a coincidence, right? This all looks like Hero's stuff. Which would mean, unless we'd find other incriminating things in the other lockers, they just shoved his stuff in here? Or it was actually Hero being the mastermind the whole time? I made that guess as a joke. I'd be shocked if it was true. Let's check the books too. There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order. And dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever's stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. He's just playing dumb the whole time. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible. I picked up one of the notebooks I saw. But the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of uneasiness may have evaporated. What? There's his name again, Hero. There is no way denying what I saw. Hidden inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. This is our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes. Which would mean he attended class here. He was a student. Yeah, oh my gosh. No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hero came to the school at the same time as the rest of us. And we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. What is this notebook? Let's see. Nothing else to look at here. Nothing down there. Yeah, no wonder he looks old. A little bit older, doesn't he? So we opened the one on the left, right? Or did we open that one? I think we opened up the one on the left. We gotta do all of them. I don't see anything that might be a clue. Okay, so that one was useless. This thing is practically empty. But there is that right there. There's just one thing, some kind of pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is. But there's some writing inside. It could be important. Oh, that's right. I remember him saying he was held back a few times. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I'd better take a look. It looks like a girl's handwriting. And all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. And whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. Huh. I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there, words I'd heard before. There's a plan to turn Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in the communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. That's what's her name? Kyoko? That's Kyoko's thing, right? Sounds like that's her writing that. That's my guess. Yeah, the one adult in the midst of underage people, right? He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as a foundation for a new era. We do know Kyoko, Crystal. She is the ultimate detective, she told us. This is the only hope we have. I hope you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So, what's that my father had to say to me? As usual, he made selfish decisions without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was, and I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't have been anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She said she hasn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. Had to go get that milk, right? I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. So what does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, the question marks spinning through my head just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. Despair walks among us, and so we survive. There's a second despair. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? And everything will point to everybody? That's Monaco. Yeah, Plucky. It seemed like that one would have been too much. I'm glad every locker seems to pin on somebody else. But the more I see, the less sense it makes. Because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in these lockers that look like they belong to people here? A notebook doesn't seem like it belongs to Hiro. And a pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. Maybe they're planting evidence? But if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward. And I have to believe in everyone. So I think that was the second one here. I'm going to try this one right here. Oh, looks like the locker opened. Now let's see what we got inside. Nope, don't see anything that could be a clue. There's a metal plate mounted to the locker. There's no way I could get it open. But we did that one. Let's try this one. I took the emergency handbook and ran across the card reader and Looks like the locker opened. Now let's see what's going on inside. Nothing that'll be a clue. Dang it! We've had a lot of empty ones here. Let's try this one. I took the emergency handbook and ran across a card reader. And it opened. And what we got? Nothing! You get absolutely nothing. I'm assuming the rest of these are all broken. Alright. So that's all we got. A lot of sus on Hiro and a little bit of sus on Kyoko, which is weird. Okay, we should probably go check on Kyoko, see if she's done with her father's room. Is she even still in there? Nope, still have to give her time. Okay. Well, we had like a laundry list of things to do, right? Let's go to the report card? No. Truth bullets? Oh yeah, places to check. It says we're on the second floor dorm, so I think we've checked all the second door and things to do item. Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at, Hasiva. So floor 4 is the next one. I guess there's nothing on floor 3. Data center has door with Monokuma logo. Okay, let's go to the 4th floor data center. There we go. I was like, where is the 4th floor? There's a whole lot of floor 1s. Now on the map, there's like an exclamation mark right there, which I think is this room. Yeah, here's the data center. Hey, Hina's here.
Hey, Makoto.
Are you here to look around too?
Is that what you're doing here?
Yeah, I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door.
Yeah.
So I figured, if all the doors in the school had to be unlocked, then that one should be open too, right?
But...
Although I couldn't bring myself to open it.
Cause
it might explode, right? And that'd really suck. So you open it.
Thanks. Why don't you put our lives in danger, Hina? Appreciate it. Great. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. Oh, she totally is. Okay, so I guess I'll open it.
Wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded.
Hina raced to the nearby desk and hid underneath it. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than expected. Super inconsiderate, right? I love that, Blocky. I mean, there's not much context, except I was having a very difficult time reading for whatever reason in that stream. Hey, we got it open. We have not seen this room yet. Let's see, there was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was...
Whoa, this place is totally sci-fi.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Looks like a spaceship console, doesn't it? What is this device? It looks like it's some kind of control panel. It's really over the top, though, like some kind of military installation or something.
Yeah, it looks kind of bad, or kind of like a mech robot, right? Hifumi would probably freak out if he saw it. Oh, poor Hifumi.
Cockpit? So the Monokuma room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean...
Okay.
Alright, let's start poking fun at it now or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons.
Well, hold on, you can't just or whatever something like this. But it was too late. Hina had already jabbing away at the control panel.
Huh?
You hear that?
Yeah, I think it came from the other room. What did you push? Oh, that didn't sound right.
I'm not totally sure, but I think it was that one. The button that says Data Center.
Data center? took a good look around the control panel, and I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of a room next to it. And just like Hina said, there was one labeled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed. But the Data Center, that's right next door, the room we were just in, that's where the strange noises come from. That's right, I thought Monokuma was right about to pop up, is what it seemed like, Blocky. I'd probably better go check it out.
Yeah!
Yes, please. I'm kind of scared out of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here.
Sure you will. What is this, another hatch? There's some kind of hatch on the floor. But right now, I need to go check out the data center. Okay, so we're not quite done with that. We should probably check her as well.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll cheer you on super loud from way over here.
That's supposed to make me feel better? Okay, we've looked at all the major items. Let's go ahead and talk to Hina.
Okay, don't worry. I'll cheer you.
Oh, we already did that. Oh, that was it. Okay, never mind. I thought I looked at something else. So we said we needed to go back to the data center proper. There's something here we missed? Maybe like working on the computer? Did I just hear what I think I heard? There he is. Is that Monokuma? Can he talk now? Probably not. Hey. Oh yeah, he is talking. Okay.
Give me all your donuts.
Is that you, Hina?
What? Aw, man, busted. How did you know?
Say what?
Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote-controlled camera set up? You don't even have the know-how to do what you're controlling.
Hello.
I mean, I can't really just see anything from up here.
Found it.
Guess what I found? A self-destruct button.
Whenever you do, don't push it. Hey, Jada, what's going on? This guy's a little creepy, but it's not too bad. Hopefully you don't get any nightmares.
Too bad.
Aw, man.
Were you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with Monokuma drawing on it, and the control panel inside. Yeah, Makoto kills, or Hina kills Makoto. That'd be terrible. There's a bunch of computers all lined up. They look like high-performance PCs, nothing like the ancient laptop Alter Ego was installed on. This must be what the mastermind uses to connect to the network. Even though I'm living it, I might have watched the broadcast of the killing game myself. Yeah, true. Only one side looks evil, right, Jada? Like Two-Face from Batman. It's not like the other monitors. It's a normal TV set up to receive the live broadcast. Apparently this killing game is being broadcast live across the world. Thinking about it making my mind start to creak again, so I'd better stop. Did we finish this room? I think they said we had to go. Oh yeah, and then there's Hina. Let me try talking with her one more time.
Whoa. Hey, Makoto. What the heck was that show just now?
Monokuma.
Huh? What do you mean?
What you were controlling just now? It was Monokuma.
Monokuma? What? For real?
Yep, it looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, there you go, Michael. Got the question answered. And this control panel is totally separate from the data center area with all the monitors. In other words,
Hey,
Maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time.
Kyoko's theory was right.
But if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school this whole time, right?
I guess it would have to be true. But if that is true... Oh gosh, we've heard this so many times. Killing Game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. The only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the Killing Game began are those 16 students. Then the mastermind Monokuma's puppeteer really is the 16th student. Oh, what anime would I watch first? If I want to pick like a new one, Jada, that I haven't really gotten into, it'd probably be Castlevania on Netflix. I love Castlevania. I'm very curious to see how that one turned out. I've heard pretty good things. No, it can't be. There's no way, right? What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like that face you're making. Ouch! I can't help it. It's just my face. Oh, it's nothing. Okay. Aw. What about you? Is everything okay? Oh, well, it's just... This is getting... this is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something? Yes, the more mature and gory, the better for me, Frost. I love that stuff. I have never watched the anime Death Note. I've heard good things, though. I watched Attack on Titan, or most of it, and that's what they did, like, after Death Note, right? I think it's the same creators. I can't say it isn't possible, but I really hope it's not true. So, you want to leave soon? That's a good point. We can't waste all our time standing around here. Okay, you want to get going? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're done in this room. As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that? The door, it just locked on its own. What? My hand shot out to grab the handle of the doorknob. You're right. It's docked. But why?
Of course it's locked, because the data center is now restricted.
That's not very fair. Yeah, right, Michael? Although it's funny. Like, I enjoy gore in video games and movies and things like that, where I know it's fake and they're just, you know, making it for shock value and stuff. It's fun for me. But, like, real life accidents, real life death, nope. Don't need to see that. Monokuma.
Just a second.
Hey, no fair. You can't just go around restricting whatever you feel like.
Hey,
It's for your benefit. Cause if the room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get at the school mascot just up and stumped moving.
Then that room?
Yep.
As you may have guessed, that's where my controls are.
So, right now, you're being operated by someone in that room.
yes indeed.
Correctamundo.
You're a liar.
But that doesn't make any sense. We were just in there. We didn't see anyone.
Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you are as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hatch?
Oh yeah, we noticed that hatch earlier. Yeah, Frost, I don't think they have any correlation from like they're not in the same universe or anything like that, but I thought the creators were the same. Maybe not. Maybe not. Hey Alex, welcome back, dude. How was the birthday celebration? Did you get some cake? So where we're at right now is we just opened up the data center and everything's unlocked, so we were able to go in that back room, which we're exploring right now, and we found out this is where they were actually controlling Monokuma the whole time. Oh, not even from a production standpoint. Okay, thanks. I got my wires crossed somewhere. Elegant, thanks. No way. A hatch on the floor?
Too bad. It was that was your big one chance, and you blew it.
Too bad.
Oh, that's impressive for us. It's a lot of people to work on one game.
Of course, that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you two guys to tell the whole truth.
Oh, goodness. So does this mean the mastermind was literally standing right below Makoto and he... Yes, that's what it sure seems like. He's gone, but...
So,
Was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got kicked out of the control room, that proves it for sure.
huh?
Then, when I said we should leave, well, the hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault.
Sorry.
Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left. You're right. Yep. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Okay, I'm gonna go run around and tell everyone what we found here. There we go. Good, good. We need that. Nice. You got me all motivated again.
You got it.
Okay, I'm out. See you later. She's awesome when she's got all that energy, right? And you think that that helps narrow down who they could be, unless they have a secret exit somewhere. That's true. That's very true. We always have to take everything with a grain of salt if it feels obvious, because there's going to be some twist, right? Hina took off at full sprint. And now to do what I can do, too. The only way to move forward. I don't remember if there's anything else on this floor. Oh, wait. Yeah, right over here. Okay. We started there. I want to take a right. And it should be like right there. Let's see. Oops, wrong button. Where am I? I gotta look at this map. I always forget the map. Oh, it's... Wait, and that's where we were? It still has an exclamation mark, which makes me think I'm not actually totally done with that. But it's locked now, right? Interesting. Imagine you were just going up to meet with everyone else per floor. It's a lot of talking, Frost. Okay, I think... Well, let's go back to the to-do list. Places to check. Here we go. Maybe there's a Monokuma in every floor. Okay, so we did the headmaster's room on the 4th floor. Biolab 5th floor. Okay, let's go check that out. We don't know what the heck that is. Oops. Wait, what was that exclamation mark? I missed this. I don't feel the need to talk to him right now. Where was that room? Oh, it is this room right here. Here we go. It's having a hard time getting my bearings. This is the biolab. It has raw on the side. I don't know what that's all about. Finally, we've never been in here. Looks like a cryo lab, huh? All those frozen... They got bodies in there? Well, here I am in the biolab. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? I feel the same way with all the wind we're getting where I live right now. I would love for the wind to stop because it makes everything like 10 degrees colder than it actually is. It's so cold. Why is it so cold in here? That's the first thing I need to figure out. Okay, so is he not going to do anything until we figure out the cold situation? I actually don't see any kind of like control panel or anything. There's a stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of those lately. Let's see, I'm surprised the surveillance camera can only work with how cold it is in here. Oh, that it can work with how cold it is. Kind of looks like it, doesn't it, Flocky? These look like a bunch of bodies. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. And on the left side, there's a bunch of glowing blue lights. But on the other side... Ah, that's it. I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. Oh, yeah. Like zombies or bodies. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does that mean this biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. I guess let's check out the desk one more time. Oh, and there's some kind of booklet here. It looks like an instruction manual. We offer an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all of your cadaver needs. In addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver, and the blue light will let you know the automated systems have activated. Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, let's see, anyone can keep a body fresh as a daisy as long as you need. Oh, that's a nice thing to say. In the unlikely event of a problem, a red light will activate and an alarm will sound off immediately. The exterior is stainless steel, and we do offer an optional leather upholstery upgrade package. This is the instruction manual for the fridge. It's almost like a coffin bag. Usually, aren't they just like big metal slabs you push and pull? Alrighty, guys. Well, now that we're nearly done exploring this room, we'll finish it up. I think it's probably a good time to call it, honestly. We're out pretty far. We're not quite to the trial, but my best guess is that we're going to finish up the investigation, do the trial, and then the epilogue on Saturday. So we will finally beat this game. It's taken me, I don't know, 13 streams so far, something like that. It's the longest game we played in a very, very long time. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. There's the newest one there. Sweet. Yeah, I definitely need a break, Frost. And it's something about reading, too. Like, I can usually play a game and not have much of a problem, but when I'm not doing anything, but reading, it's like, oh man, I'm going to read and put myself to sleep. Alright, so, let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot it's in that menu. I always have a hard time finding the exit. Here it is, return to main menu. Gotta look a little bit more for it. And it is definitely past my bedtime. Never like conked out completely, Michael. I've never like passed out where I'm just out for a little while. I've like practically dozed off for like a moment. And like I'm just like quiet for like 5 or 10 seconds. And then I'm kind of like back, you know, not even 10 seconds, like maybe 4 or 5 seconds. I might be just kind of like, oh, and I keep on going like nothing ever happened. So it's gotten very close. It's gotten very close to like just being out. Maybe one of these days. These visual novels can do it to me.